So we have some pretty incredible news to share, but before we get into all of that, let me just quickly rewind to about a month and a half ago, because we got the announcement that Fjordur is going to become the next official map. This is great because the map is absolutely fantastic. I played on it myself. We had a series and everybody loved it. I love it so much. It's made by the same guy who made Valguero, and that map is going to be dropping in around June of 2022. That is awesome news. With that, we got the news that the Andrewsarchus is going to be an official creature that's going to be added into that map, along with 2 other creatures. One of those creatures is going to be decided by a creature vote, which is actually currently active. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But the other creature actually just got revealed, and it is the Fjordhawk, which is not an actual real-life creature, by the way. I did have to look that up. I felt stupid looking it up, but it's not a real thing. I imagine that this is just going to be a hawk, but it's basically suited towards Fjordur. So my initial reactions to this creature without reading the dossier or anything, it looks interesting. I don't know. I mean, shoulder pets are shoulder pets. Like, there's some really good ones. Obviously, the Cinema Crops is really good. But yeah, I don't know. Let's get into this. We're gonna read the dossier, but also, guys, go ahead, hit the like button if you enjoy this. It helps me out. And yeah, let's read this thing. Most of the creatures I've encountered here have endured thanks to their great size, strength, or ferocity, but the Fjordhawk gets by on its wits and by scavenging. The bird also seems to have an almost preternatural ability to predict and avoid danger. Fjordhawks follow predators and survivors from up high, watching their movements to swoop in and snatch up an easy meal. Tamed Fjordhawks are surprisingly playful, and their favorite game is fetch. Indulge your bird with this play and a bit of patience, and you'll reap the rewards. Just point out a target and your Fjordhawk will fly off and retrieve it for you. A well-trained Fjordhawk can locate injured prey and communicate its find to you. These clever birds will bond with humans as wholeheartedly as any canine or primate, in a way uniquely suited to this time and place. If you should meet with some grave misfortune, your Fjordhawk will immediately fly off with as many of your belongings as it can carry. As soon as you respawn by the ARK, your friend will track you down and return the equipment to you. Okay, so that actually sounds pretty cool. Let's break down this dossier just a little bit. So when it's a wild creature, from the sounds of the dossier, it's probably going to come after you when it looks like it can definitely kill you. So if you're like broken legged or freezing to death or something, this thing's just going to come down and pick you off. Kind of like a vulture, to be honest. Its temperament is calculating, which definitely leads me to believe that it will not come after you if it thinks it will die with the encounter. So obviously, yeah, very, very intelligent little bird. But when we have it tamed, it sounds pretty cool too, actually. I mean, I don't exactly know what this whole fetch thing is. It could be kind of similar to the Ichthyornis, where you can send an Ichthyornis off and it will go and basically pick up fish out of the water and bring them to you. It could be something similar to that, except with land creatures, which I guess sounds pretty cool. I wonder what kind of creatures it can pick up or, I guess, kill or bring to you or something. I do like the fact that it can actually locate injured prey, kind of similar to a direwolf. You know, like the little like health symbol that you see with creatures when you're like riding on a direwolf. I imagine that this thing's probably going to go ahead and make a giant ring around you to kind of tell you where all of the injured creatures are. So it could be pretty useful if you're running around killing things and you have one of these things flying above you, following you. It might end up actually telling you when the creature is low health or something like that. I don't know. It could be pretty useful. I do really like that ability on direwolves. It's actually very, very handy. And then, of course, they basically bring you your items when you die. That sounds kind of amazing, actually. I'm sure people in PvP are probably going to love this because you're going to be able to get your kits back, provided that somebody doesn't go ahead and snipe the bird when it tries to fly away with all the stuff. The thing that I'm kind of curious about is, what type of weight are we going to be expecting on something like this? You know, is it going to be able to carry a lot of stuff? Is it all reduced weight in its inventory? I'm a little bit curious about that, actually. So I don't know. It sounds pretty good. I mean, I don't know what you PvP heads think about this thing. Let me know down below. But personally, I would think that it would be kind of useful. I don't know how often you'd really want to be bringing this thing in if you're just going in on like a little suicide run or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Just as like a general survivor in the map, it actually sounds kind of nice. At the same time as, you know, we could just go back and get our bodies, it will bring some of the stuff to us. So if we go out on maybe like I guess a cementing paste resource run, we could just then die and let this thing bring it back to the base. That could be kind of useful. But also, I guess, you know, if you have gear or anything at all, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on how much it can actually hold. If it can hold a lot of stuff, you could actually use this and pretty much farm up metal, but I really doubt that would actually be the case. So I don't know, we're gonna have to wait and see when this thing actually does get added, but I kind of like the sounds of it. The name Fjordhawk, I feel like people are probably just gonna call it a hawk, to be honest. Just in general though, seeing something like this and knowing that we have Argentavis in the game, I want to just see this thing beside an Archie. I think that would be super hilarious because, like, obviously I know they're not the exact same species of bird or anything like that. It's not like a giant version of it, but at the same time, they are birds of prey. And obviously the Archie is gigantic compared to this thing. So yeah, we get a decent size comparison, obviously, in the dossier right there. It's definitely a shoulder pet. I don't think it's going to work in any way similar to the Sinnoh, where we can basically use it to parachute around or fly. It's pretty much just going to sit on your shoulder, and I'm worried, like, how is the whole surveillance thing going to work with this dude? Are we going to be able to, like, throw it out and it's going to fly directly up above us and follow us that way? That would be kind of interesting if it was like that. I like that. If that's the thing with this creature, then I'm definitely excited for it, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Like, if it flies like basically as high as you see right here in the picture, that would be cool, but I don't know. Definitely getting some Assassin's Creed kind of vibes here though, you know, just having like the eagle to synchronize, just jump off a building. Oh man. All right, well, anyway, yeah, what do you guys think about this creature? I think it sounds pretty cool. I was very surprised that they actually announced the next creature, because I figured that the next one we would hear about would probably be the creature vote creature, which we will be talking about in just a minute. But yeah, super surprised about this. Just in case there's any confusion, they have indeed said that this is one of the 3 creatures that's coming. They did say 3 real-life creatures. Obviously, there's no such thing as a Fjordhawk, but it is a hawk, basically. So yeah, that is the creature that we're getting for creature number 2. As for creature number 3, we have another vote that is now active. I'll probably do a video kind of going over all of these creatures, but as you can see, here is the list of all the creatures in the new vote. And with the new vote, it's not going to be like it was with the last one, which honestly, I really hated the last vote. I thought it was so poorly done, but at the same time, they'd never done a vote before, so I don't blame them. Instead, this time we're gonna have it ranked voting. So basically, you have 10 options here. You rank number 1 as what you would most want, and number 10 as what you would least want. We're gonna go through all of this other stuff in another video because it's so much to kind of cover right now, and I mostly want to focus on the new creature that just got announced. So I will leave a link to this down below, as well as the community crunch as well, which, by the way, I do have to say, I did notice there's a nice little shout out to me at the community crunch for hitting 1 million. I do really appreciate that. All right, well, anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on the Fjordhawk, and of course, if you're looking for information on the Andrew Sarkis, you can check out the video. I'll probably have it in the end card right now, but yeah, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one.